So you wanna make the best meatloaf you've ever had? Let's go. So to start out with, I'm gonna take half of an onion, yellow onion. I already have this one cut in half. We're just gonna dice it up, throw it in our bowl. And I guess I said dice, you wanna make sure that it's really minced up kind of fine. That way you get all of the awesome onion flavor cooking out in the meatloaf. And then I have half a pound of ground pork. I like separating it out a little bit because I feel like it's gonna be easier for me to mix. Now I'm adding 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm using 85/15. And one of the reasons why I'm doing that is so as it cooks, it doesn't release too much fat. I'm adding so much flavor and fat back into this that it should be fine. From there, I'm gonna add a can of Rotel, the original Rotel with the green chilies in it. Key to the recipe. Super easy to add all that flavor, the tomatoes and the green chilies. Boom. I have my entire spice mix. If you want to check the links in the description below to see the list of all of the spices, that's the key to the flavor. We have 2 eggs. The eggs are gonna help with it being fluffy and to be our binder. I like to add about 1 egg per pound. So if you're doubling this recipe, you're doing 2 loaves, maybe 4 pounds altogether would be 4 eggs. Panko breadcrumbs, we're gonna do about 1.5 cups. And then we're gonna add a little bit of sour cream too. It's about 1.5 tablespoons. Let's mix it all up. I like using my hands when I mix it because I like feeling the consistency of how the breadcrumbs are absorbing the liquid and how the meat feels. I don't want it to be too clumpy or dense. So I always have some type of trick for my recipes because I feel like, you know, there's a lot of seasonings. Sometimes there's a lot of ingredients. I like to cook food that tastes amazing for you guys. This trick is parchment paper. We're gonna lay out this parchment paper. We're gonna put the meatloaf in it, wrap it, and roll it up and cook it in the parchment paper instead of in another container. Meat, right in the middle, about half of what you have. And then I have this lovely chunk of sharp cheddar because we're gonna stuff the meatloaf in cheese. Add the rest of the beef to it from your mixture. And the best part is this doesn't have to be perfect because when you wrap it and you tighten it, that's what makes it perfect. So we're just gonna form it around the cheese. Just gonna take the outside, fold it over, and tuck it tight, kind of like a burrito. You can actually pull it like this and then pull it back to you. And then you roll it like this. And then for the ends, they don't need to be this big. So I'm just gonna cut it. And then what you do is you pinch it like you're making a little candy, and then you squeeze and you tighten it up and you have a meatloaf. And then you twist the ends around to seal that tight end, just like this. Cheese right in the middle, all the meat around it, folded side, tuck this under, and that's how you smoke it. We're gonna throw it on the grill, 325 degrees, level 10 smoke. I don't like putting a probe in it because then it's gonna allow the rendering fat, the juices, and the cheese to escape. Go for about 1 hour and 15 minutes to 1.5 hours and save puncturing it until the end when I actually have to like check the full temperature. This is temping out just perfect. All of the juices are oozing out. Let's pull it and let it rest. Woohoo, it's hot. Let's start unwrapping this. You wanna be really delicate, and obviously some stuff is gonna stick to it, but you wanna prevent tears as you're unraveling it. Patience is key. You can see the herbs in here, the fennel, the caraway seed, the onions and tomatoes. It looks amazing. And there it is. I have a little bit of barbecue sauce in here. You really want something with a lot more sweetness. You can see some of the cheese on the side beginning to ooze out. I'm just gonna pour all of this over, and you don't need a lot. Just let it flow, get in the cracks, paint it on. So I just have this really crusty, kind of coarser grain seasoning mix that I'm gonna throw on top. And you can just replicate this with using, say, Montreal seasoning, something like that. Well, we're gonna put it back in and let this caramelize up on top. Let it go for about 10 minutes just to get that really nice barbecue goodness. Take it out, lay it down, let it rest for a couple more minutes so that cheese doesn't completely spill out when we cut it. Get a glorious cross section of it. This is gonna be amazing, guys. Cross section! Yeah! Let's do this. Let's cut this in half, guys. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Dum, 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 dum. That is some super cheesy, oozy goodness. Obviously for the video, cross section, let the cheese drip out. If you were doing it at home, I'd say, you know, let it rest 20 minutes. Just take some of it, throw it on a plate, melted cheesy goodness on top. This is so good. It really is the best meatloaf I've ever had. The recipe is on point, to the T, to the half teaspoon of everything. Make the recipe, go try it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, see you guys later. But all of the flavors, and so all of your herbs, everything that's inside are intermixing, they're mingling, getting to know each other. These flavors are like dancing together and swaying. There's like Lionel Richie playing. And if you let it rest just perfectly, it reabsorbs them and it gets so much better.
Lionel Richie?
Yeah. Yeah.